Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Is anybody here? Well, I'll start off with a song, and I said to myself, I'm gonna try not to wax on too long like I sometimes do.
Oh,
I dreamt I met an angel of God, not knowing what to say. So I just asked, do you have some time to answer a question? And the angel smiled, I don't have any time. All I have is now. So I smiled, and the angel replied, you long for peace, yet you are at war with yourself. You seek to be free, yet you are already free. You look for love, and you are love itself. And afraid you are to open your heart. Your heart is already open, and you fear death, but you are eternal life. So we sat in silence for a while. And then the angel looked deep into my eyes, whispered these secrets to me. When you stop the war inside, you are the peace outside. And when you fully face your fear, you see that fear is only energy. And when you're naked to yourself, you are free to be yourself. So look deep within yourself. So love yourself deeply, so when you see someone else, you see God. You see God. A little out of tune. Okay, the talking part. Abundance, abundance, abundance. I couldn't help but reflect on that when Alara was talking about the breath. Something we absolutely take for granted. And yet it is the abundance of breath that courses through us every second, that gives us the life that we experience, that empowers us to take a step forward, that allows us to deeply take in that which gives us beauty, as it has been expressed today. And so breath is something that can remind us all the time about how abundant we actually are. And we almost don't have to go anywhere else to remind ourselves about abundance in life. Because where the heck did breath come from? And how is it that it remains? And so the reflections on abundance, I'm going to go through them kind of quickly, but I hope that they will speak to you and that they will remind you of your experiences of abundance and ways of connecting deeper into it. One big thing about abundance is that if you feel any form of abundance, such as what I just described in having breath, it's only when I lose my breath and find that I'm not having it, that I may not feel the happiness that breath gives me. And so one of the first things of abundance is the experience of fulfillment and happiness. Another aspect to reflect on in terms of abundance is freedom and ease. That when you feel and experience abundance in your life, there is this freedom, there is this sense of freedom to do what you want and to have something that you want. The freedom to believe in that possibility. And then the stronger that you believe in that, the greater is the potential of that thing that you desire to come to you. And then there's a beautiful thing that happens with abundance, which is the abundance of how we can receive guidance in life. And how there is always something. You know, we all have that voice inside of us. Do you recall this voice that you hear that encourages you, that nudges you, that reminds you of things? That intuitive voice of direction that lets you know something that your mind doesn't necessarily grasp right away. But the feeling of something. And that feeling of guidance brings, comfort, brings reassurance, it brings advice, of course, and it brings support. And so, when we listen to our inner voice, the true voice, that isn't being confused by the mind's logic. And when the mind unites with the heart. Of course, the biggest thing about abundance, or one of the biggest things, is the experience of love. the abundance of love that you can see and experience in everything. How can we have such beauty in the world if there isn't some expression of love being given through it? I recently posted a picture of a flower, a beautiful flower. I'm house sitting right now in a doctor's house, and I'm taking care of his plants, and I've been speaking to the plants, I'm singing to the plants, and I took this absolutely gorgeous picture of one of the flowers on the geranium blossoming. And I recently just got a new phone, so the camera is like even better. And so feeling, I rarely actually go out and buy anything, any material things. So I was like a little kid getting this new phone and seeing all the biggest things that can take these beautiful pictures. And so, love is expressed through beauty, such as through a flower, I see these birds outside of the window that looks out onto a little pond in the back area of this house. And there's this little bird, a couple of 2 or 3 birds, and they're burrowing they're in a hole in a birch tree that's basically dead. But every day, every morning, when I'm sitting there doing a little meditation and reflection, I look out the window and I see the steadfast dedication of these birds coming to that little house, basically, their domicile, their home, and pecking inside of it and cleaning it out and so on. And there's just such grace and beauty when we look at nature. And so that's love through flowers and love through nature. And then, of course, there's everybody in this room. And the reason why you would all come here would be to experience this love and to feel surrounded and embraced by it. And then there's also self-love, the ability to actually love yourself in a way that you may have been neglecting, where you may have even forgotten yourself. And so self-love is a huge part of treating yourself well. And you have every opportunity to do that. And so abundance surrounds you in reminding you to love yourself. There's abundance in what I'm calling sufficiency, which is the true value and importance in life, where you get to value your experience of fulfilling your purpose. When you have a sense of a reason why it is that you are here, that is a gift of abundance when you actually step into it and trust it. And that's often when that intuitive voice is guiding you into the direction of where abundance lives, in your ability to be fulfilled in your sense of purpose. And then to bring that purpose into the world in a way that expands your capacity not only to give to yourself, but to give to so many others. And knowing also that in sufficiency, we know that we have what it takes to carry on. The abundance of the will to push through difficulty, to be inspired even by difficulty and by struggle. One of the great things, they're all great things, of course, I'm going to say that for every one of them, is the other aspect of abundance is living in full presence. The abundance of being here right now. I'm doing a series of workshops right now, and it's called The Search for the Beloved. And of course, I don't call them workshops, I call them play shops. And one of the things that we're sharing and talking and discussing about is how so often we're actually not actually here. in the present. That we're often reflecting on the past, anticipating the future. So our present moments are often, in a sense, kind of skewed by everything that takes us away from being here. And in moments that capture us, that enrapture us, such as when we experience a child laughing or smiling at us, and there's something about that draws us into being fully present to the beauty and the joy of that child. And those kinds of moments exist for us all the time. And so to be fully present to anything that we are experiencing, and that also includes being fully present to what is troubling us. It has been said that when we have a challenge, when we have confusion, when we have some degree of trauma, of pain, when we bring our full presence to it, not try to manipulate it, not try to make it something else, but to, in a sense, to really honor the experience of what this present moment is giving us and is sharing with us. That the act of doing that is actually what causes the thing that is troubling us to start to become less, because we give it our full presence of attention. And again, it baffles the mind, because the mind will always try to do something with it. But just to be with something. And some of the most powerful moments in which this experience of being takes place is when we are talking to someone who is going through a difficult time. And the mind will often want to come in and say, well, I recommend you do this, or I have this advice for you, or whatever. But actually, what often is the most powerful gift you can give a person who is struggling is just to be with them in full presence. To just be still, to just listen, to just take it in. And in taking it in, being present to it, to be expressing to this person that you are totally there for them. Not for what you think they should do, not for what you recommend they try, but you're there purely for where they are. And that you honor them. In the honoring of it, it releases, it gives them an opportunity to feel seen, to feel received, and to recognize that now they can receive themselves. Abundance in terms of conscious choice. Letting go of judgment. And in the experience of letting go of judgment, we experience forgiveness. And how things are perfect within imperfection. And gives me my cue to share this next song. And in singing the song, I need to honor Pamela Jane Gerard, who actually wrote this song. And I came across the lyrics and didn't realize that they were hers. I thought I had filed them and put them aside. And so I've created a completely different melody to her words. And we spoke recently, and we were both surprised that this had happened. And she had no problem saying, well, let's just have two versions. Struggle between between my wrong and your right. And out beyond the tangle of this long dark night, there's a field of forgiveness, and there's a field of light, and I will meet you there. Beyond the doorway lies your new life. It's shimmering, beckoning. It's time for you to fly. Just remember to surrender. If I could take every tear that I ever made you cry, I turn them all into stardust, as all our knots untie. I love you, I'll let you go. Wherever you go, please remember to surrender. Out beyond the struggle between your wrong and my right, and out beyond the tangle of a constant fight, there's a field of forgiveness, and there's a field of light, and I will meet you there. If I could take every tear that I ever made you cry, I turn them all into stardust, as all our knots untie. There's a field of forgiveness, and there's a field of light. Got to tell you a quick little story about Rumi. One day he was on his hands and knees on the side of a road, and he was searching for something. And a man came by on a horse, and he looked down and he said, Rumi, he said, what are you doing? He says, oh, I'm looking for something. The man got off his horse, and he got down on all fours, and he's going through the grass with Rumi. He's looking, and he's looking. And he said, well, where did you lose this? And he said, oh, about a mile down the road. And the man said, well, why are you looking here? And he said, because there's more light here. So, abundance comes in the form of the awakening to truth. The fact that there is a GPS in us that taps into the truth. And again, it's when the mind is suspended. The mind is a beautiful tool, but its purpose and its function is to categorize and to compare and all that sort of thing. But there's moments when that's not really what will bring you to the truth of something. The truth will be revealed through your intuitive resonance with life. How else did we come to invent and create the world that we actually live in? If it wasn't for a deep, deep place within us that can access the truth, the possibility of something. Before the mind ever understood anything about what it would be to discover that thing. And this is when the ego comes to a place, to a point in which it becomes in service to the heart. And we experience a unification of heart and mind. So heart, mind, and of course we know that the heart is far more intelligent than the mind. And so when they unite together, then the mind, the ego, logic, it bows in service to the heart and to the wisdom of the heart. And the heart and soul of abundance brings a deep feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment. Things fall into place. Synchronicity begins to happen in our life. When abundance of trust, an abundance of love, when there is an abundance of surrendering to the course that life has, in essence, designed for you, but you always have the choice to create in what is your unique way, then we experience this wonderful abundance of accomplishment, the ability to accomplish. And so abundance becomes ultimately a state of mind. We begin to reflect on abundance in terms of how my mind can appreciate abundance all around me. And it's not just about money and material things and how much you do or do not have. It's about self-worth and valuing yourself, which inspires you to be open to the abundance of life itself. And the last 2 points on this reflections on abundance is, with more abundance comes more gratitude. And think of gratitude as the action, the activity of fully appreciating what you have. And when you express gratitude for it, you are literally emptying your cup. Gratitude that you're actually sending what you have back out into the universe through gratitude. And when you do, your cup is no longer, isn't so full that there's nothing that can come in. When we're not grateful, then we find ourselves kind of stuck. Stuck experiencing the same things. But as soon as I express gratitude, even for those things that have challenged me, that have pushed me to the limit, and I express gratitude for that, then there's wisdom that comes in. And so the abundance of that comes in. And gratitude is a way of us staying fully in the flow of life. And as a result, when we feel abundant, we feel generous. And we want to share the abundance with others. You know, when we're grateful for what we have, for what we've been given, for the fulfillment that it gives us, we want to see other people have that experience as well. It's a natural flow of the heart's desire to do that. So, my gosh, I'm surprised at myself. So I have one more song to sing, and then I'm going to do a meditation with you. And the meditation is a participatory meditation in that you get to sing with me. This song I just wrote this. For the sake of love, I calm my heart, that I may be an instrument of peace. And in a troubled world, I will bring with tenderness a kinder song to sing. It's all full of gracious love, universal love. Beauty lies beneath the skin, love Yes, it's all for love, gracious love, universal love. So this is the meditation. It's a Sanskrit chant, very simple, and the words are sa, ta, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma. And so I'll give you the melody. Once I get going with it, then you just come right on in. And Satanama actually means infinity. Sa means infinity. Ta means life. Na means death. And Ma means rebirth. And so the whole message of this that's given through this chant, and it's something I would encourage you and invite you to be meditating on as you're singing, which is that it's basically proclaiming and saying to you, let go of your old self and become the self you were meant to be, which is your true self. And that's the essence of this chant. So thank you so much for having me today, and I do have a few CDs here if anyone's inclined to want to get one. Just to give a little plug for myself, which I always forget to do. So many blessings to you on your path and your journey, and may you experience the abundance that is being offered and invited for you to enjoy in each and every